Good afternoon, folks. A warm welcome to the EVES auction room here this afternoon. We've got a great array of properties here for you, so certainly no need to go home without securing your new home. My name's Grant Child. My role is to simply facilitate proceedings here today through a number of the sessions. I've also got my good friend and colleague Donovan Street, who will be doing the 1:30 and the 2:30 sessions. Robin will look after all the technology in the auction room as well, so if anything goes wrong on the screen, it's not me or Jordan's fault. Robin will take care of it. So we've also got some very experienced people joining us as well, part of our senior management team. Gordon, the two Craigs, Jill and Mark. If your bids don't take us to a level where the owners have instructed us to put the property to the market, obviously that's their reserve price. But if we don't reach that level, folks, we'll simply put a pause on the auction. One of the team will step in and give you the opportunity to keep discussing with our sellers here today and see if we can't reach agreement, at which time it will come back to us. We'll then make any amendments and the property will be put to the floor and sold to the highest bidder. But you need to be very clear, folks, if you don't secure the property here today, you will run a huge risk of going into what we call a multiple offer afterwards. There's a lot of buyers out there in the marketplace that are unable to bid and buy at auction. They haven't quite finished their homework, and a lot of them are still waiting for confirmation from the banks on approval of their finance. Those buyers can come forward immediately. The auction is closed and put a conditional offer to the vendor, so we give you the cash buyers the first opportunity. And I can tell you now from our last week's properties, we've got 7 properties that we offered for sale last week. They were already under contract, and they were all under contract within a matter of a few days afterwards to those conditional buyers. So give it your best shot today. Let's quickly run through the documentation, the buyers and sellers guide. Well, you've seen that, you've all had the opportunity to see that. They are available in the stand outside of the auction room as well. Been around for a long time, produced by the Real Estate Authority. So let's go straight to the most important one, of course, is the contract of sale, circulated in draft form. Finalised copies available also in the same stand. If there's been any amendments or any changes along the way throughout the marketing period, folks, I will alert you to those changes prior to your bidding, but I know our sales consultants do an outstanding job out there. They will have endeavoured to contact you and update you along the way. So based on that fact, folks, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood and accept that contract that we worked to, but let's quickly revisit the front page there. You see at the bottom there on that front page, that's what you see up there on the screen. That's the conduct of auction. Again, you've all had the opportunity to peruse that and study that so that you can bid with confidence today. I'll remind you of just 2 pertinent points. One is that your obligations on completion of the auction is that if the hammer falls in your favour, we just require you to autograph that contract and of course pay your deposit, equaling 1/10 of the purchase price here. The balance is then payable on settlement date. The only other thing I just want to clarify for you folks is vendor bidding. Under clause 2.5, as the auctioneer, I'm authorised to submit bids on behalf of the vendor. Under the vendor's instructions, I'm the only one that's permitted to submit those vendor bids. If I do so, it will only be if I've only got one person participating in the auction, and we are well below the seller's reserve price. So it's simply a technique to work alongside you and work with you to get you onto the negotiating platform, where we'll pause the auction and, of course, as I said, be below the seller's reserve price. I will disclose all vendor bids to you very clearly, so essentially that means if I'm holding a bid at any level, the vendors are saying to you through me, thanks but no thanks. If you want to purchase our property, you will need to be above that. So pretty straightforward process, folks. Any questions at this juncture? No? Excellent. Also take the opportunity of welcoming the buyers and the sellers and spectators watching via the live stream as well over the World Wide Web. Now, we did have a couple of properties we're scheduled for auction today. 19 Morsling Grove, marketed by Jeff and Sarah from our FM office. Nicholas Maloney, who's also got some properties up today, was marketing 24 Langstone Street. Both of those properties received early offers prior to the auction that were acceptable to the vendor. Everybody was notified that expressed interest, and those properties were sold prior to auction day. So gives you a pretty good indication, despite what a lot of the media are saying about and speculations about the real estate market. I can assure you folks it is still happening out there in our marketplace here in the Bay. So without further ado, we go straight on to the first offering for our 1 o'clock session, number 2, McFetrich Lane, marketed by Carl Kirk from our Gate Par office. Impeccable attention to detail from these meticulous owners of this property, and it's one of those properties that is absolutely bound to pull on your heartstrings when you view the property. Of course, when you have your housewarming party, it is really going to pull on the heartstrings of your friends that join you there as well. Legally described as a freehold estate, 413 square metres of land, more or less, all described in record of title 291651. 20 working days from today's date, your settlement date. Carl, any changes to that? Bit of flexibility around that. Any changes to the channels list? No changes there. So a stunning renovation done on this property, folks, with the Ponsonby style vibes. It really does feel like something that's come out of a magazine, so you really are in for something special indeed. Have a look at this next shot coming up on the screen there. Imagine that. You've got that fabulous flat lawn there with the bonfire pit, the cosy outdoor entertainment space there, and it is also incredibly private. So something, as I said, very special indeed for you here. A nice peaceful location. Don't forget the off-street parking if that's a requirement for you. It caters to that as well. So I guess the one thing that we just need to find out now, just to seal everything off and help our owners move to the next chapter of their lives, is identify who wants to buy their home. Where would you like to start now, mate, folks? $720,000. Welcome aboard there, sir, at $720,000. And at that juncture, I'm more than happy to work alongside you with $20,000 rises from here at $720,000. Centred here in the room here against everybody else here. 0720 chasing down a $20,000 rise. Let's go there quickly now. First call, second time. Third, last chance for you to join us then. Happy to work alongside you then, sir, at 740 with me. Vendor bid at 740. Make it 60 if you will. At $740,000. The vendor at 760 there, sir. At $740,000 it is. On the way now. At 760 we go. At 760, appreciate you working with me, sir. I'm away from my instructions at this point in time. At $760,000. Making it 80 if you will. First call now. Second time. Third, final opportunity for you to join us. Going again on behalf of the seller, sir, away from my instructions at this point in time. 780 it is. At $780,000, rounding into 800, here we go there, sir. Here's your opportunity now. At $780,000, give him the right price there, ma'am.
790.
Taking 20s at this stage, sir. Thank you, appreciate that. At $800,000 even now. At $800,000 it is in the centre here. Just a single bidder at this point in time. I'll call it 3 more times. Nobody else joins us here. We're going to pause and talk down here. First call now at $800,000 even. Second time. Last opportunity in or out. Craig is down there with just one bidder at $800,000. Can you help the gentleman, please? All right, moving on. I did mention one of the earlier properties sold prior, and I mentioned Nicholas Maloney's name. That's Nicholas that's just joined us there. It's taking a bit of traffic out there, Nicholas.
The accident on Tackety Drive.
Is it? That's what's causing it. Yeah, I thought there was something else there. We've had a number of messages of people being a little bit delayed. So good that you can make it in time for this property that you've been presenting at number 14, Tawn Close. Enduring construction located at the end of that very, very well established lakes cul-de-sac there is a property that certainly allows you to enjoy a sense of calm when you know that you're heading home to number 14 Tawn Close. It's a freehold estate, 480 square metres of land more or less, all described in record of title 329986. 15 working days from today's date, still our settlement date, Nicholas. Any changes to the channels list at all? No changes there. Just a quick reminder, folks, in clause 23, the purchasers acknowledge that the gas supply is by way of reticulated gas, and the vendors have a contract with Trustpower for the supply of that gas. The purchasers further acknowledge that on settlement, you will be required to contact the supplier of your choice and arrange future gas supply to the property in order to use the gas vault. So just a total disclosure in there, folks. making sure that you don't deny yourself of the opportunity to do a bit of cooking on the day that you move into your wonderful new home. A chick-neutral decor defines the interior and a very, very welcoming atmosphere here at Tawn Close indeed. You've got this gorgeous contemporary kitchen rather that you see coming up on the screen there, a culinary hub that everyone will love to gather around and enjoy some of the culinary delights that will come out of this wonderful kitchen there. There's the gas hob there in question, folks, so make sure you do get that gas hooked up. You've got the flat landscape section that basks in sun. You've got the Tauranga crossing retail and leisure mecca, all nice and close to this attractive property that combines serenity with convenience. So a great opportunity here, folks. I would have thought, Nicholas, a fair and reasonable start would be what? Something, $1 million? $1 million would be a fair and reasonable start for a property like this one. Don't have any registered phone with us, folks. It's entirely up to you, seated here in the room. First call now for $1 million start. Second, last chance for cash interest. Disclose it now. Obviously none here today, Nicholas. I've closed the auction, hand it back to you, my friend. You've got a little bit more work to do there, but I'm sure the buyer that you find for this property is going to be absolutely delighted once they see it.
We'll be contacting the
Sorry?
There's additional interest for the afternoon already.
Excellent. All right. Okay, moving on to number 3 for our 1 o'clock offering, folks. 453 Montgomery Road. We've got Bronwyn over here on the left-hand side, and Dirk. Your name's not up there, Dirk, because I didn't realise that you were going to be back in time, having just been away and had a little bit of a well-deserved break and catching up with family. I hear you had a really good time as well, so yeah, good to hear. All batteries all charged up, ready for a big time ahead of us in the next financial year, just around the corner. So back to the property itself there, 453 Montgomery Road. Start the day right with a walk up or around the mountain, tend to your caffeine addiction at any one of the multiple cafes, all within a very small radius of your new home here in Montgomery Road. It's described as a cross-lease freehold, record of title SA 30D folio 490, describes all the legal aspects of it. Now the TV that has been added to the TV bracket, and some of the original documentation circulated saying that the TV bracket was going to stay. Well, it still stays, but the TV's been added to it as well, so an added bonus there. There is an additional clause in the contract stating that the vendor, having not been in occupation of the property, makes no warranties as to the serviceability of the fixtures, fittings and chattels. 20 working days from our today's date. This is still our settlement date, no changes
with
there.
flexibility.
Bit of flexibility around that. Good stuff. Well, any other changes to the channels list at all, team? No changes there. So you've got that superb near-new kitchen that boasts a dazzling beach-themed graphic with the glass splashback as you see there on the screen. Is simply outstanding indeed. You've got that's all positioned above that composite stone bench top amidst the gleaming stainless steel appliances. So again, a culinary mecca there. Open plan living with ample scope for entertaining and easy flow to the private patio courtyard for you to enjoy as well. You've got the artificial grass lawn area, so you don't have to worry about mowing lawns and looking after it. It is nice and simple to look after. In fact, I've got a bit of artificial grass around my home, and I can see people think I'm a bit stupid when I'm out there with the vacuum cleaner, vacuuming the lawn. But hey, it is wonderful underfoot indeed. You've got the short stroll to the Main Street to access the high-end boutique shops, the bars, the restaurants. Well, a great opportunity for you with the prices of fuel the way they're going at the moment. You're going to save a heck of a lot of money when you reside at 453 Montgomery Road. I'd be happy with a start anything over 1.1 just to get us underway. Anything over 1.1 gives you the opportunity to challenge for the keys on ownership, just 20 working days from today's date. But as Dirk said, a bit of flexibility around that as well. Before you can take up that date, you've got to buy it first. First call now for a start. Second, last chance for cash interest. That's all the option, the calling of the option is for. Just the cash interest only. Obviously none here today, guys. We're going to close the auction and hand it back to you, but I think you're going to be decorating that that signboard with a sold sticker in the not too distant future indeed. Property is still available for sale. Talk to Dirk or Bronwyn from our Mount office if you need more details. Alright, lucky last for our 1 o'clock session, folks, but by no means lucky last for the day. But this one here is an absolute cracker indeed. 93 Hillsborough Drive, by Charlotte Gardner from our PEPMAR office. Now, at a time of uncertainty with the materials availability, increasing costs and the scarcity of house and land packages, this brand new classic builder's beauty removes all the headaches from any building challenges that you might have ahead of you. So have a think about what's on offer here, folks. It's a great opportunity indeed. It is a freehold estate, 479 square metres of land is all you have to look after, more or less. All described in record of title 899384. 20 working days from today's date is your settlement date, but a flexibility around that as well. Channels list, no changes there. All I's dotted, T's crossed there. You've got the sun central hub flanked by the large windows as well. There's such seamless, easy flow, promises fuss-free entertainment in this particular home here. You've got an abundance of flat shrubs and cabbage trees that sit immediately beyond the fence line, just adding that lush green element when you're hosting those summer soirees, but you don't have to look after all of that sort of stuff. It's all done for you. You just get to sit back and enjoy it. So this area certainly paved its way as a burgeoning community and a desirable location for people to reside. So a fuss-free solution to any brand new home aspirations is right here. You see it on the screen, folks. And it would be easy for people to think that this is quite an expensive home given the location as well, but I'd be happy to take a start anywhere in the nines. Thinking about building, folks, forget it. Just buy this one and get rid of all the stress and hassles of it. Increasing building costs. Well, we hear it all the time, don't we, Gordy, about people that are having their contracts revoked because the prices have gone up. So here's your opportunity. It's all done. Start your way anywhere in the nines. First call. Second for cash. Third, last opportunity. Unbelievable. I would have thought we would have had a number of people over there given what's got to offer here. But yeah, brand new, brand spanking new. I'm going to close the option, Charlotte, but I don't think it's going to take it. Is your car full of fuel?
Yes.
Right, well, it needs to be, because I think you're going to be busy with this one after the option. So good luck with that. Couple of days, that means you're going to text me sometime over the weekend and tell me it's under contract. Yeah, beauty. You're a gem. We'll be back to you with the results on McFetrich as soon as we can, folks.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to the 1:30 session here in the EVES Auction Room. My name's Jordan Silverite. It's my absolute pleasure to guide you through this afternoon's proceedings for the next half hour at least. A couple of introductions. Firstly, I'd like to thank Robin. Robin up here, she's going to assist me with all the technology you see in front of you on the screen. And otherwise, I'd like to point out back the room, Grant, our National Auction Manager. He took you through the 1 o'clock session, and he'll be back with you again shortly for the 2 o'clock session as well. Otherwise, the other names and faces you see on the screen here will be my team of expert negotiators here to assist in the conversating off the auction floor should we need a little extra negotiation. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a moment. But we'll carry on for now. Of course, there's people Mark, Craig, Jill, Craig, and Gordon. Like I say, we'll explain a little further how that works when we get to the point there. Otherwise, standard auction conduct, get to that in a second, but you do bid today on a cash unconditional basis and also on the proviso that you've received the REA buying and selling guide. Been around for a long time, everyone should have received a copy. If you haven't, they're available in the stand outside. Otherwise, standard auction conduct will apply, as I mentioned, and you've seen that on the draft form of the agreement that would have been provided by the salesperson, and it's also available in its finalised version out the front there if you want to have a final perusal. Otherwise, we'll see it on the screen here, folks. And well, a couple of things I'll go over. You may be pretty familiar with it, but I'll just explain a couple of things. Vendor bidding is the first one. Vendor bids are always very clear. The purpose of a vendor bid, I'll call it a vendor bid, it's always well below our reserve price. And all that means is that's the price you'll need to be above if you want to be in a position to buy the property, or at least have the opportunity to have a little conversation with my team of expert negotiators that I mentioned. So that, folks, that means my number at that vendor bid, you just just anything north of that, hey, maybe we'll be able to get something going for you. Otherwise, a couple of other things. Phone bidders, well, they need to be registered with the appropriate paperwork signed off, and I'll endeavour to point them out as we come along to each auction if there is registered phone interest. A couple of things I require from you if you're our successful purchaser. Your John Hancock, that's your autograph on the memorandum of contract, and your 10% deposit is due into the trust account. Also, any questions along the way, feel free to fire them at me. I'll try not to mistake raised hands as questions for bids, but hey, if your intentions are here, folks, to buy, let it be seen, let me know. Otherwise, we'll go to the first property this afternoon, which is 205 Ballantoy Park Drive. Now here you've got a beautiful elevated city fringe property with an awesome rural outlook. Now, Nicholas Maloney, he's been marketing this property very proudly out of our Lakes office there, and great work with that one, Nicholas, as well. So legally described as a freehold estate, record of title being 560176, and you've got 539 metres of that freehold land that I mentioned. Channels, well, extensive list. Just the one notification I'd like to bring up was that excluded ioniser water tap. Any other changes there, Nicholas?
No.
Perfect, folks. So that's what you bid for today on top of the property. Now, settlement, vacant possession, 20 working days, all by mutual agreement, folks. So it gives you a little bit of time to get your affairs in order should you wish to. Otherwise, you've got dazzling monochrome designer kitchen. You've got that walk-in pantry, which every chef desires, I'm sure. That opens up to the dining area, the heat pump to keep you cosy through the winter months. You've also got two living areas, perfect for the close-knit family. Send the kids into one and go and watch a movie in the other. Or hey, if you're an entertainer, maybe have your friends and family round dinner in one and then go and kick back afterwards in the other. Great indoor-outdoor flow, and as I mentioned before, ideal for those lovely views out to the pastures, folks. Well, this is the part where it's in your hands. Do we have any interest here today? Let yourself be known. Cash unconditional bidders, those are the ones we're looking for. Any interest? 205 Ballantoy Park Drive. Who wants to start us away? Opening bidder offer, folks. Opening bidder offer, throw in your number. If we've got one there, I'm going to leave it to you.
Oh, there we go.
No, looks like there's no cash interest here. Look, what I'll do, Nicholas, we'll just pass the property in. I'll hand it back to you. It looks like you've got some conditional buyers who'll be pretty happy to hear this news. So good luck with that, and I'm sure we'll have the good news in the next day or so anyway.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, well, thank you again for joining us, and a welcome along to our live viewers on the live stream if you're here. We're just going to jump back to 2 McFetrich Lane. Had a little negotiation going on. Now, we have had an increased bid to $815,000. Can you confirm for me, please?
Yes.
Perfect. And sellers, your instructions? Sell away, they say. So I'll call it out once at $815,000, twice at $815,000. Third, final time, make no mistakes, we are going, sold! Congratulations, after this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this next property we've got up here, she's an absolute ripper in my opinion. 7 Tamworth Place, proudly marketed by Isaac Jacobs out of our Gate Park office. Fully fenced, freehold, and expertly manicured. This brick and tile home leaves nothing to be desired. As I mentioned, a freehold estate of 510 metres squared, more or less. Full description located under unique identifier SA56A bar 81. Channels there, where you see it on the screen. Those are the channels you bid, and they're included in the sale when you buy today, folks. Settlement is down for 20 working days, all by mutual agreement, so book the moving truck, because I tell you what, you'll be needing it when you're moving in here. Otherwise, just a little note of the early release of deposit under the further terms of sale. Otherwise, no further terms to be aware of. As I say, any questions along the way, let me know, but we'll carry on if not. Beautifully renovated kitchen, new curtains and carpets throughout. Perfect, means you can move straight in, folks. You don't have to do all of that renovation, and you can go straight in and start living your best life. You got a spacious bathroom plus that additional second separate loo. Well, I tell you what, in the mornings when you've got mum and dad getting ready and you got the teenagers and they're getting ready and everyone's trying to get into the bathroom and dad's going, oh, I'm running late. Well, hey, you've got that separate loo, folks. So problem sorted right there, I imagine. Centrally located, it's a short drive to the major shopping destinations and amenities that you find in that gate part location. So folks, it's in your hands again. Do we have an opening bidder offer? Opening bidder offer here on 7 Tamworth Place. Who wants to start us away looking for that opening bid? Opening number, folks. Cash bidders, that's who we're after. First time, second time, third time. Now, what we'll do, folks, I know there's conditional interest in this property, so if there's no further bidding, no, absolutely, we'll pass the property back. Thank you very much, Craig, and I'm sure Isaac will be pleased to let those conditional interested parties know. So passing the property in there for 7 Tamworth Place. Rightio, folks, well, our next property up for offer here, 20 St Clements Grove in Bethlehem, proudly marketed by Daniel Dickinson out of our Mount office. And, well, he's done a great job with this property, and I commend him for his work over there. You've got that fresh look and a quiet location, makes this one a popular option, I'm sure. Legally described as a freehold estate of 788 metres squared, more or less, with those further details located under the unique identifier SA72A bar 983. Well, the chattels, you've got that irrigation system as is where it is, but otherwise any changes to that? No, perfect. So there you go, folks. Settlement, you're down for 20 working days or by mutual agreement, so make sure that you are aware and you settle on those conditions as well, folks. Freshly redecorated interior with new carpets throughout, and I tell you what, new carpets, well, they can make a home. There's still room to add value though, should you wish, but you can leave it as is and start enjoying your new modernised home for sure. High stud ceilings will be graced by natural light, making it a nice, bright, beautiful home. French and bifold doors create great indoor-outdoor flow, and then from that open plan living space, perfect if you've got guests around for an evening barbecue, or you're just looking to make the most of some sunshine during the day, folks. Well, looks 20 St Clements Grove over there in Bethlehem. Who sees us away? Where do we start, folks? Looking for an opening bidder offer. Again, I'm going to let you guys come up with something. Any numbers out there? Opening bidder offer, folks. Surely we see something, perhaps, I don't know, around the 1 mil? 1 million? Any opening bids or offers? Floor's yours, don't be shy. Real quiet. I won't mistake the cough for a bid at this point. We're not that desperate, folks. We're here, we've got genuine interest in the properties today. Do we have that cash here in the auction room? Once, twice, third time. Okay, no, we'll pass that back to you there, Daniel, and I'm sure you've got some people who will be very excited to hear from you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, passing the property in there. Okay, folks, thank you again. This one here, we've got 505, that's 505 Old Highway. And what an awesome property. I've been looking at the property, looking at some of the notes that our wonderful listing agent, Jackie, she's done. And I'll tell you what, I think this property is an absolute beauty. But hey, it's just my opinion. You guys Lions that are here to buy it today, hopefully. A rare and beautiful opportunity for those seeking an eco-conscious lifestyle. Legals, well, it's legally described as a freehold estate of 6,157 square metres, more or less, located under unique identifier 939100. Further terms of sale, well, there's just the one in there, clause 23.0. I'll just read it out very briefly. Purchaser acknowledges that the vendor intends to build a dwelling and a shed on the adjoining lot 2. The purchaser further agrees that they will not object to such dwelling being sited to within 10 metres, and such shed no larger than 75 metres squared being sited to within 1.5 metres of the western boundary on lot 1. Thank you, folks. Now this one here, you've got the chattels list up there. It's an extensive list at that. Any changes to that one, Jackie? No, absolutely not, folks. So there we go, bid with confidence, and your settlement is down for the 8th of April, or by mutual agreement. Large spaces in this generously sized home. Its beautiful, popular floors and ceilings are sure to be a hit with almost everybody. Mixed contour land with flat areas around the house and the avocados, and you got that balance of the sloping land and the exceptionally well planted natives and fruit trees, folks. So, look, if you want to go and grab yourself, I know it's Fijoa season, I'll make sure there's some Fijoas in there as well, especially ready in a couple of seasons' time if there's not. From the home, well, beautiful outdoor flow to that north-facing veranda, lawn and barbecue gazebo with an outlook across the pond and the garden, folks. I think the pictures speak for themselves, and I'm sure if you're interested, you've seen the property, you know what it is that you like about it. Opening bidder offer. Where do we go? Looking for an opening bidder offer now, folks. Don't be shy. Any interest? Let it be known. How about we say 1.8? Any interest at 1.8? 1.8 million? No, they say no, they say no. Once, twice, third time. Okay, Jackie, we'll pass it in there, but I'm pretty sure you've got some realistic vendors, and I'm sure we'll be able to get a price on that one shortly. Awesome. Thank you very much, Jackie, and passing that property in there. Well, folks, this one here at 26F Hartford Avenue, well, she's a special property, and evidently so we're here. The auction has been brought forward, which means that our owners, they are under contract with a pre-auction offer. Now, you'll see it pop up on the screen shortly as our bid. Now, it's not a bid, don't mistake that. Under contract here, subject to no further bidding. If you want to buy the property today, your bid will need to be higher than that contracted number there. Otherwise, a phenomenal amount of space outside. A sprawling green lawn harbours incredible landscaping potential. Legal description, it's a cross-lease 1/6 share in 4,626 square metres, more or less, and you can find all the details on its legal description under the record of title SA 65B bar 908. That's the South Auckland Registry, folks. Now the chattels, garden shed is as is, otherwise you see them up there, not too many to keep track of, but all included, folks. Settlement 20 working days from the date of the agreement or by mutual agreement there. No changes to any of that? Perfect. Drenched in all-day sun and flanked by an easy care planting. You have abundant options on how you choose to enjoy this expansive area, folks, and that's what I mean. It's entirely your choice on how you want to enjoy this property. Functional and ample in size. The interior living caters superbly for families. Natural light is abundant and teamed with a partial interior facelift, which means there's also room if you want to do a little bit more. Well, folks, you could do. Gated vehicle entry offers additional parking. Well, great if you've got a boat or a camper or even just a weekend set of wheels, well, you've got room there, folks. Perfect for those weekend projects because you've got that workshop and the garage running adjacently to the parking area as well. Your Patmoa walkway is just outside there, easy stroll through the reserves, and you're not far from the beach, are you, folks? Not at all. So as I mentioned before, we are under contract at a level subject to no further bidding. We sell away today, and that level that we are under contract for is $810,000. Looking for further interest on top of that, like I'll take a 10,000 from here at this point. At 810 and 820 now, thank you. At 820, do we see back at 830? At 830 and welcome in, sir, at 830, and can I suggest again at 840? At 840 and 850, I say. 850, and now we know what comes next, 860. 860, and sir, it would be the obvious choice to go 870. 860,000 at the back of the room. Once, twice. So I'll take 5 if it's easier. No, shaking the head the wrong way. Once, twice, third time at 860,000 at the back of the room. Any further improvement there, sir? Permission to sell the property? I'll take all one if it's there, sir. First, second, third, and final time at 860,000. It is going. It is going. Sold. Congratulations to the Thank you all very much for joining us, and we'll be back again shortly. Grant will have the the 2 o'clock session momentarily.
Sorry folks, we just had to wait for the song to finish. Robert wanted to hear the end of the song. Good afternoon, welcome to the EVES auction room for our 2 o'clock session. My name's Grant Child, and it's certainly my pleasure to facilitate proceedings over the next half hour. Jordan Silverwhite, my co-auctioneer, headed the 1:30 session. He'll be back at 2:30 if you want somebody a little bit better looking than me, then stick around until 2:30. Robin, she'll look after all the technology in the auction room, and if your bids don't take us to a level where the owners have authorised us as the auctioneers to put the property to the market and sell to the highest bidder, we'll call on the expertise of either Gordon, one of the two Craigs, Joel, or Mark. They are here. They're experienced managers, part of our team, folks. They're what I call my negotiation team. If we pause the auction because we're below the seller's reserve price, we'll give you that opportunity to continue discussions with the owners. Just need to be very clear though, folks. If you don't reach agreement today and we formally close the auction, anybody can come forward with an offer that does include conditional buyers. And 7 out of the properties that we offered last week were under contract within the first 3 days after the auction by those what we call conditional buyers. So you're in a very elite position here today, folks. That is the cash unconditional buyers. So give it your best shot. You may find yourself competing afterwards, but we'll give you every opportunity today. Quickly going through the documentation, well, the Buyers and Sellers Guide, been around since Adam played fullback for the Israelites. Copies are available in the stand out there, but you've probably got more in your glove box than what we've got in storage. That's the document put out by the Real Estate Authority, and by law we have to provide that to you. So let's cut to the chase and go straight to the most important one. Of course, that's the contract of sale, already approved by the Real Estate Institute of New Zealand, the Auckland District Law Society, our vendor solicitor. We certainly trust that you have spoken to your solicitor and had them peruse the contract, in particular the record of title, because when you bid and buy on that A, cash unconditional basis, and B, deemed to have accepted the vendor's title, well, there's no outs after that. So making sure that you've done all your homework. By way of any bidding, I'm going to assume that you've read, understood, accept that contract as well. And of course, I'm just going to quickly revisit the front page, which sets out the conduct of auction. You would have seen that in this section here on the front page. No need to go through it all. I'm going to trust that you have read that. Highlight a couple of pertinent points though. If the hammer falls in your favour, congratulations. You are the new owner of the property on settlement day, which I'll confirm. But prior to commencing your celebrations, we just ask you to autograph that contract, and secondly, part with a little bit of your hard-earned cash, just 1/10 of the purchase price payable today, and of course the balance is payable on settlement date. That's all transacted through your solicitors, so you don't have to worry too much about that. The other thing I just want to mention to you folks is vendor bidding. If I've only got one person participating in the auction, I'm authorised by the owners to submit bids on their behalf. It is simply a technique to work alongside you, work with you to get you to that negotiating platform where we pause the auction. I'll disclose all vendor bids to you. Funnily enough, I'll call it a vendor bid, or the bid is with me. Now be very clear, folks, I will only do that if I've only got one person participating. So if there's more than one of you, I'll just leave it to you to determine it from there. So I'm the only one that's authorised to submit those vendor bids. So total transparency here in the EVES auction room. Again, just a technique. If I'm holding a bid at any level, you will need to be on the northern side of that for the sellers to entertain further discussions with you. So at this juncture, also welcoming the viewers watching via the live stream as well. How many we've got up there now? We had about 120 in our first session there, Robin. 287 people watching our auctions via the live stream. So we welcome all of you here today. Happy to answer any questions at this juncture, folks, before we present the first property in our 2 o'clock session. No questions? Excellent. Let's go straight to reintroducing Lauren McFetrich. She doesn't really need any introduction over the Otamoto office. She's been presenting this wonderful opportunity here at 30B Leander Street, packed with character and promise of privacy. This delightful 1950s property is absolutely loaded with charm indeed. When we look at record of title 133365, you find it's a freehold estate offering you 454 square metres of land, more or less. Now the gas bottles, they do not stay, and there are no keys for the window in the lounge. Just making sure that you are aware of that, folks. The gas bottles do not stay. Alright, and there's no keys for the window in the lounge. There is a clause inserted in the contract at the request of the vendor solicitor Nothing untoward about that, particularly at this time of the year, approaching the end of the financial year, authorising early release of the deposit in accordance with the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. 20 working days, Lauren, is still our settlement date. No other changes to the channels apart from those gas bottles and keys for the lounge. No, so all set to go. So the characteristic elements not only entertained, not only retained rather in this property, but they certainly have been enhanced. You've got imported Mexican tiles plus a scullery. They're just some of the many features that are available at 30B Leander Street. Outdoor living, well, that's just so easy here with the dual spaces accessible to either side of the communal hub of the home, as you see there on the screen. You've got a nice friendly neighbourhood situated incredibly close to the beach, and local conveniences here. I think that's why this sort of location is so popular, and we don't get a lot of properties available for sale in the area. So in your hands, buyers, where would you like to start me away? 30B Leander Street. Let me start you away, but my figure might be a little bit different to yours. What about 900? Somebody start me away at 9? Yeah? Thank you, sir, and I do appreciate that. You're just confirming the 900 with that, aren't you, sir? I certainly appreciate it. I'm glad it wasn't the other way around. I wouldn't take offence to that one. But that's okay. We're here to help you today, sir. Appreciate you starting your way at 900 We're travelling $20,000 rises from here at $900,000. It's entirely up to you here in the room, folks. No registered telephone bidders for this one. Calling it once now. Second time. Third, final opportunity for you to join us. Happy to advance you on behalf of the vendor then, sir. Vendor bid at 920, making it 940 if you will. At $920,000 with me, very clear. At 920, 940 we go. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Yes, you can bid on your own part too. You don't need approval, ma'am. At $940,000. In fact, I'm quite happy if you bid against each other down there. At $940,000, working with you to help you here today. First call now at $900,000, still chasing down that 20 out there. Second time, are we in or out? Third, final opportunity for you to join us. Advice to go again on behalf of the seller then at $960 now. At $960,000 on behalf of the owner, very, very clear, folks, at $960, make it $980 if you will. Here's your opportunity here, put yourself in front again, no prizes for second here, at $960,000 on the vendor bid away from my instructions at this point in time. Making it $980, will you? Feel it coming?
970.
980 still. Need you to be at 980 to give you the opportunity. Make it 980, sir, and we'll pause the auction and give you the opportunity to keep discussing with our seller. But I'm away from my instructions at this point in time. First call now at $960,000. Put yourself back in front and earn that opportunity to discuss. Thank you, appreciate it as well, sir. At $980,000. I am a man of my word, but I am obliged to put it to the floor once more. At $980,000, are we in or out? First call now for you to join us at an even million, if you will. Second call, are we in or out? Third, final opportunity for you. Gordon bids over here at $980,000 with our starter bidder. Can you see if you can assist them, please? Alright, moving straight on to our second property in the 2 o'clock session, made by Nicholas Maloney, again from our Lakes office rather. This is an absolutely outstanding opportunity, folks, 32 Brunston Drive. You got the opportunity to bring the tribe and release them onto your huge backyard here, as you see on the screen. And this property is absolutely beautifully presented, and it's got the added bonus of being a freehold estate as well. That's how it all is described in record of title SA 64C, folio 379, 712 square metres of land, more or less. It's what's on offer. Channels list, no changes there, Nicholas. Settlement date still 30 working days from today's date. We've got a flexibility around that as well. If you need an alternative date, Nicholas will certainly assist you there. Now, the outside pots, they are excluded from the sale, folks. They do not stay with the property. And just a quick reminder of an additional clause. The vendor warrants that prior to settlement, they will address the following items that were identified in the building report. They will repair or replace the cladding by the front stairs, install a strip drain by the garage door on the left-hand side. They'll install a bolt to the rear wing by the back door, re-secure the bathtub outlet, and they'll attend to the clearance of the deck to the cladding. Now these works will be at the vendor's cost. They'll all be completed in a professional tradesman-like standard, and recently, at the request of the vendor's solicitor, the early release clause has been added. I mentioned that in the previous property there. Standard at this time of the year being the end of the financial year, authorising the early release of the deposit in accordance with the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. All the I's dotted and T's crossed there, Nicholas?
Sounds right.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. All right, living areas of accommodation with us are situated predominantly on the upper floor of the property. You've got that open plan dining area and the sitting room flank, a very handy separate media lounge for those Netflix or neon white nights as well. You've got the spacious kitchen. It's got those stainless steel appliances for you to enjoy. Have a look at it up there on the screen and just visualise some of the gourmet delights you're going to be producing out of there. It's certainly well placed for prepping the morning coffee and croissant on the balcony there before the day really gets underway. So certainly very, very attractive indeed. Talking about attraction, you've got the attractive landscaping section there. It's got the large shed as well, fully fenced for the kids and the pets there, with ample space out the front to park the boat. So pretty much what more could you ask for from the 32 Brunston Drive? Certainly a very convenient location. In your hands, guys, where would you like to start this one away? I'm not going to suggest a figure. I'm going to leave it entirely up to you for this one. Great opportunity here. Brunston Drive is a very popular location. I remember way back in the day when I was selling myself. It was before becoming an auctioneer, marketing properties in that street. A very popular location. First call now for a start, folks. Second time. Third, last chance for cash interest. Obviously none here today, so I'm going to close the auction. Nicholas, hand it back to you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Alright, carrying straight on to number 262 Gravatt Road. Kelly and Ormsby from our Mount Montgomery office been presenting this property here. Certainly a lovely first home or investment property option for you here in Gravatt Road. It's formally described as a freehold estate. Record title SA 46C, folio 491. Describes the property as 480 square metres of land, more or less. The first two properties in the 2 o'clock session, folks, you've heard me talk about the early release of the deposit. Same thing applies to this one. The clause has been recently inserted for you. 14th of April 2022 was the settlement date. Kelly, no changes to that, but flexibility around it. Any other changes to the channels list? No changes there. So have a look at this, folks. You've got the character lounge and the elevated kitchen area allows for the high stud, making it something a little bit different indeed. See that configuration there just separates the property from the norm, and out there something very different indeed. Easy access to your covered outdoor dining area as well as all catered for. It's nice and light and airy, particularly in that kitchen area. You'll see it up there on the screen as well. Now for you investors, this would be a good option for you. You can expect to get a return of somewhere between $615 and $665 per week. That was the rental appraisal that was done on the property, so certainly an option for a good return. You've got the spacious yard for both the 2 and the 4-legged family members as well. So 262 Gravatt Road, in your hands, guys. Where would you like to start with this one away? No registered phone bidders on this one? I'm assuming you've got the vendor on the phone. Yeah, I thought so, yeah. No registered phone bidders, entirely up to you here in the room. First call now. Second, last chance for a start, in or outs. Close the auction, hand back to you, Kelly. A little bit more work to do to find the right buyer for this one, but it won't take long indeed, my friend. Alright, lucky last one for our 2 o'clock session, folks. So we'll be back to you with the result of the end as soon as we can. In the meantime, presenting 73 Dunlop Road to the market has been Nicola Cook out of our Gate Park office, doing a great job indeed. Of course, we're out in Tauranga here in the Western Bay of Plenty, and this property offers you 985 square metres, more or less, being a flat site with the existing house at the back of the section, as you see up there on the screen. Just confirming those legal descriptions of the land mass. as I mentioned, 985 square metres, being a freehold estate, and it's all described in record of title SA 1768 folio 86 in the South Auckland Registry Office. Now, there was a change to the channels, Nicola. There's only just the one garage door remote, not two, as with some original documentation. You're bidding on the basis of just one garage door remote for this one, folks. 20 days from today's date is the settlement date. No other changes for those channels lists, no. All that's circulated apart from the garage door remote. So you'll recall when you viewed the property, folks, the Polish wallboard states simply add character and charm to the property. You've got that large western deck with all the seating as well for outdoor entertaining. You've got a galley kitchen that provides an anchor for entertaining and hide everything away here in the times where you are entertaining. No, great, you just you can wine and dine with family and friends, take everything out of that galley style kitchen, and then go back and continue the evening and leave it all until later. Great options there. You've got plenty of scope to spruce it up to your own likings if you so wish, and that wonderful mature setting in a nice quiet cul-de-sac being Dunlop Road. So in your hands, buyers, just before I invite any bidding, I just need to make sure that you are fully aware that we have got a conditional buyer waiting in the wings, hasn't quite been able to get themselves in a cash position. We're confident they will do something afterwards there, Nicola. So cash interest in your hands, spiritual lap, start us away.
6.
Pardon, sir?
600.
600? Oh, well, a little bit optimistic, but I love seeing optimism alive and well. Go straight to 7 on behalf of the vendor, sir. Take me to 8 and a fair and reasonable start from there. $700,000 on behalf of the vendor now at 700,000. Happy to take 50 for you there, sir. If it's going to help you then, at 750, I'll take the at 750,000, $750,000 on a vendor bid. Putting it into perspective of where it needs to be, folks. Happy to take another 50 on top now. Once I call now, second time, third, last chance for you to join us again, sir. Happy to lift it again on behalf of the seller then, Nicola. I'm lifting it to $800,000 now. Putting it in perspective for the real true value of the property here today. More than happy to work with our conditional buyers afterwards at this sort of level at $800,000. At $800,000, I'll call you once for any advance on that. Second time, otherwise I'm simply going to close the auction down if there's no further bidding, and we're more than happy to work with our conditional buyers afterwards. Third, last chance in or outs. Close the auction. Those conditional buyers are going to be pleased to hear from you, Nicola, and I'm sure you'll be doing business with them later. Appreciate your participation though, sir.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to this afternoon's 2:30 session here in the EVES auction room. My name's Jordan Sivrite, and it's my absolute pleasure and privilege to guide you through this afternoon's proceedings, handling any pressing matters that come to my attention along the way. Introductions, a couple of quick ones here for you. We've got Robin, she's going to help you with all of the technology you see on the screen in front of you. Otherwise, we've got Grant Child, our National Auction Manager, here to assist. And we've also got these, my team are expert negotiators here to assist in the negotiation off the auction floor should we get to a point that we need to have a little back and forth conversation behind the closed door there for a moment. So those people, there's Mark, Craig, Jill, Craig and Gordon. Again, thank you all for being here. Welcome along to our viewers on the live stream. Appreciate you for tuning in. And of course, welcome to our vendors and purchasers here today in the room. Standard auction conduct, I'll get to that in just a moment. Of course, remind you bid on a cash unconditional basis today. And of course, you have received the REA buying and selling guide. If you have not done, if you haven't received it, there is a copy out in the foyer there should you wish to do a little perusing of that, please. Otherwise, standard auction conduct, you would have seen it on the draft form of the agreement that would have been provided by your salesperson, and that is now available also and a finalised copy outside. Otherwise, you see it on the screen in front of you. I'll point out a couple of things. Firstly, vendor bidding. Vendor bidding is basically the vendor's way of saying through that you'll need to be north of that number if you want to buy the property today. So that means that vendor bids will always be labelled and very clear that they are vendor bids, always well below our reserve price, and again to educate you as the buyers on what is not going to buy the property today. Otherwise, phone bidders, well, they'll need to be registered with the appropriate paperwork signed off, and I'll endeavour to point them out to you as we have any registered phone interest in the auctions as we get to them. A couple of other things I require if you're our successful buyer today, or our successful buyers. We'll pat on the back to you. I need your signature on the contract at the conclusion of the auction, and your 10% deposit is due also pretty well immediately afterwards, please. Any questions along the way, feel free to fire them at me, but otherwise we will get started on the first auction here. Now this first one, 51 Otamoto Road. Julie Parkinson, well, she's been marketing this one out of our Bethlehem office, and she's done a great job here. She's done a great job on a great property, folks. It's a brilliant 1950s townhouse on a great piece of potential development land, legally described as a freehold estate of a whopping 1,012 metres squared, more or less. Record of title being SA 922 bar 94. Schedules, well, they're up on the screen here. There's just a couple for you to take note of. Is there any changes to those, Julie? No changes to that one there. And your settlement is down for 20 working days, all by mutual agreement. And of course, you'll just have noticed in the back there the further terms of sale. You'll see the public trust clause there, 22.0 as well. Any clarification, speak to your agent, or you can put your hand up, and we hopefully will be able to help you out before we kick off the auction here. Otherwise, I'll continue. Opportunity to renovate and return the gardens to their former glory. Well, that's what you have here at 51 Otamoto Road. You've got developers. Well, I'm sure that you'll be keeping an eye on this if you're a developer. This one, I'm sure you'll see potential. Maybe utilise the roughly quarter-acre section, additional dwellings. Potential is there, folks. You know it for sure. Beautiful native timber flooring in the home, spacious bedrooms. You've got a separate laundry, and that single basement garage with a large workshop, I'm sure, is a benefit too. Fabulous plantings and mature trees, a little vision and some green fingers. I'm sure you'll be looking to top. I'm sure you'll have it looking tip top again in no time. Otherwise, you're only a short stroll to the Brookfield shops, and if you're going a little further, well, you've got the bus stop right outside as well. So folks, this is where it's in your hands. Looking for an opening bid or offer? I'm not going to start this one, I'm going to leave it to you. We do have registered phone interest on this one, so you'll see that here, over here to my right. If you're interested, let me know. Show me what figure we want to start away at. Opening bid or offer, folks. 51 Otamoto. Opening bid or offer, who's got it?
850.
850 at the back of the room. Thank you. At 850, and I'll look for, say, a 25 on the rise from here. At 850 and 875. At 875, do we see 900? At 875, do we see 900 back again? Thank you, sir. At 900, do we see a rise to 925? At 925, they say absolutely. At 925, do we see a 950? 950, and we know where it's going at 975. 975, take me to the big middle. At 975, once. Twice at 975. Thank you very much. At $1 million at the back of the room there. At $1 million at the back of the room. Once at $1 million, looking for another 25 on the rise. At $1 million, take me to $1,025,000. $1,025,000 on the right, and welcome in. At $1,025,000 over here, take me to $1,050,000. That's 1050 and the 000 on the end. At 1025, I have now. Once. That's second time at 1025. Third time at 1. Thank you very much. We'll take it at $1,050,000 at the back of the room. And so would you like to come back again at $1,075,000?
No, I'll go with another 10.
A 10? I'll work with you 10, sir. I appreciate it. Work with me and I'll offer you the same courtesy at the back of the room then, okay? So at $1,060,000 it's with you, and can I suggest $1,070,000 at the back of the room there? Working in 10s from here, but happy to increase it back to the 25 if you want to really cement your way and cement your place here at 51 Otamoto Road. Thank you, and we're at $1,070,000. At $1,070,000, first time, sir, back at you again. I'll take that 10. Second time at $1,070,000 at the back of the room. Okay, $1,080,000, he says, nod of the head. At $1,080,000 now. At $1,080,000, and at the back of the room, can I suggest $1,090,000 or blow them out of the water potentially with a big 1.1? First time at $1,080,000. Second time at $1,080,000, looking for another 10.
You take a 5.
look, I'll take the 5, I'll work with you, but I will offer the same courtesy back again. Okay? At $1,085,000 and sir, $1,090,000. There we go. You're going to have to be a little bit strong with the bidding at the back of the room if we're going to kick them out this early.
1.1.
1.1 we'll take it. At 1.1 we'll move in tens again. Sir, will you want to work in tens for now? He says no. Look, sir, I'm here to help sell the property today, so we'll do it for you. At $1,105,000 and we'll offer the same courtesy back. Once at 1,105,000. Twice at 105 over the mill. Third time at $105,000 over the million.
10. 1110.
1110 will take it. It's a rise of 5, correct? Rise of 5 at the back of the room there at 1,110,000. Sir, would you like to come back with another 5? He's shaking his head the wrong way as far as I'm concerned. $1,110,000 first time. Would you like to come back in? First time, second time at 1110 and a 000. First, second, third time. Any further interest? Okay, what I'll do is I'll pause the auction here and Craig negotiations at the back of the room there. Okay, folks, just going to pause the auction. We'll be right back. Okay, folks, just going back to the 30B Leander Street in our last session. We've paused a little negotiation. We've had an impressive bid to 1 million. Can I confirm? Okay, increase of bid to 1 million. Now my instructions at this point, not quite where we need to be, so I'll call it away. First time at $1 million over here. Second time. Third time at $1 million. Any further interest? Okay, no, auction closed. A little bit more work to do there. Appreciate the rise in the bidding there, but we will pass that one back to you, and we'll do a little bit more work on that one. Thanks very much, Gordon.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, welcome back again. My name's Jordan Sivrite, EVES Auctioneer. Pleasure to take you through. Next property we've got up for 51 Meadowland Street, Matua. Well, what a great property you've got here. You know, you can't help but be impressed by that swimming pool that greets you in the picture, understandably so. Well, this one's been proudly made by Nicholas Maloney. He's done a great job. It's tucked away at the rear of a freehold site, tastefully refurbished with a resort-like feel. This one's sure to get heads turning, as I mentioned, but go on. Freehold estate, 404 metres squared more or less, with a unique identifier being SA66C/980. Settlement with vacant possession down for 20 working days or by mutual agreement. Chattels, any changes to that list there? No, absolutely, he says. We sell away, hopefully. Fingers crossed, folks, that's your call. Further terms, well, just the early release of deposit to the solicitors for the vendor's benefit. Please make sure you're aware of that one there. Entertaining inside and out, you've got it here, you certainly do. You've got an elevator. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, some people overlook the benefits of an elevator. And if you've got your hands full of your groceries and you're coming up the stairs, not a problem here, folks. Groceries sorted themselves out, essentially. Mobility issues, well, that's great as well. Elevator will certainly make this one appeal to you. Great kitchen for the home cook with gas cooking. Best form of cooking, in my opinion. I like to spend a fair few hours in the kitchen. Usually doing the cleaning up after my partner makes all the mess, but hey, that's just how it is. Otherwise, fully fenced electric gate close to the bowling club and Ferguson Park, and zone for the Matua school as well. Plus, I said it at the beginning, don't forget that in-ground swimming pool, folks. How could you? Impossible to forget. Folks looking for opening bidder offer, when we see interest, who says go? Opening bidder offer, 51B Meadowland Street. Opening bidder offer, looking for that cash unconditional buyer today. Once, twice, third time. Okay, auction closed. Looks like there's no cash here today, Nicholas. I'll pass it back to you, and we'll just keep working hard on that one. I'm sure you'll get the result.
Thank you, Jordan.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next property we have here, 36 Tauranga Crescent, proudly marketed by Laura McRae, our Albemarle office. And a great job she's done here. An original 70s build in a well-maintained condition, elevated for views of the harbour, and folks, well, what views they are as well. Legally described, it's a freehold estate of 675 metres squared, more or less, with that unique identifier being SA 14C bar 596. Chattels, well, the extraction fan in the kitchen is as is, and you've got some excluded chattels being the gas bottles, and there's a couple of keys missing as well. Any other changes to that one?
No changes.
No, so there you go, folks. What you see is what you're bidding for. Settlement, well, that's 15 working days or by mutual agreement, so a little bit of time to get your affairs in order, but not too long to wait. You've got an absolute sun trap with almost floor-to-ceiling windows, while sliders provide access from a functional kitchen, space to wrap around and that wrap around outdoor patio, creating that seamless flow when you've got guests around and you're looking to do a little entertaining. The generous sized site, well, it's got private space at the rear of the section, which is perfect if you want to put a trampoline in, you know, a veggie patch or something like that. Great if you've got children and you need a little bit of space for them to run around and play, absolutely. And you're set in that desirable Mangatapu area. And you're close to that arterial route as well, providing easy access pretty much everywhere, folks. Opening bidder offer, where we see it, 36 to Tawanui Crest. Opening bidder offer, who's got it, folks? Once, twice, do we have any interest? No, look, I'll close the auction there, Lauren, I'll pass it back to you. Now, Lauren, vendors realistic in their expectations?
Yep.
Perfect. So what are we going to do? We're going to price the property?
Yeah, price with $899.
Okay, 899,000, folks. That's where you'll need to be. If you're interested, go see Lauren. Great price on that one there, and good luck. I'm sure you'll get the deal done shortly.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Auction closed. Well, folks, thank you again. Welcome along to our session here today in the EVES auction room. Next property we have up for offer is 56 Emmett Street in Greerton, proudly marketed by Sally Blockley out of our Lakes office. And great work, Sally, on this one as well. Commend you for your efforts. Well, a brilliant property you've got here at 56 Emmett Street, and it's tucked away in one of those sort of really highly desirable properties in that Greerton location. And I don't think there's too many of them that come along just like this. And I tell you what, folks, I'd be glad if it were me in a position to buy in Greerton. I think this is a really good option. But enough of what I think, folks. Legally described, it's 723 metres squared, more or less, of freehold land. The record of title being SA 2006 bar 89. Chattels, well, the dishwasher is as is where it is. Otherwise, any changes to those chattels there? No, thanks very much, Sally. Yeah, your settlement is down for 6th of May 2022, all by mutual agreement as well. No changes to that one, I assume. Great. Otherwise, further terms, just the early release of deposit 23.0. Nothing else really to make super big note about. Lots of outdoor space for the kids to play or the adults to entertain. That means you get the best of both worlds, folks. If the children want to run around and you've got guests over, or hey, take a seat on the deck there, have a little sip of whatever your favourite beverage is, no problem. You can see the kids right there too. You've got, speaking of entertainment, how great is that super-sized kitchen? As I mentioned, spend a bit of time there, but probably not for the right reasons. Perfect for the home cook or baker. I do love some baking, so if you are our lucky buyer, I'd be happy to receive a thank you gift in the form of muffins or slices, or probably not necessary, I would assume. North facing to capture the best that the sun has to throw, and today maybe not so much, but I promise you, and I say promise very lightly, I promise you there's some sun coming this weekend, folks. Well, 56 Emmett Street, opening bidder offer, it's in your hands, looking for opening bidder offer now. Where do we see it, folks? Surely you'd see value. Looking for it, opening bidder offer. Here we go, folks. Anything over $1 million, perhaps? No? Not at the moment. First, second, third time. Okay, we'll close the auction then, pass it back to you, Sally, and I'm sure you've got some people who will be very interested to hear from you and how today's auction went. So, wish you all the best. I'm sure we'll hear some good news shortly.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you, folks. We'll be back shortly, folks, with the outcome of 51 Otamoto Road. Well, folks, welcome back again. Appreciate you hanging tight while we get that negotiation underway for 51 Otamoto Road. Now, we paused, had a little negotiation. We've had no further increase in bid, but we are, and can I confirm, on the market and selling today. So at $1,110,000, we're on the market and we are selling, folks. Do we see a rise? First time at 1110 at the 000 at the back of the room. I'll take a 5 if it's there. Okay, and 1115. At 1,115,000, and can I suggest a 20 at the back? On the market and selling away today, folks. Make no mistake. $1,115,000 first time and 20. 1,120,000 and 25. And 25, can I suggest third? 1125, first, second time. Insert the back of the room. First, second, I'll come back to you. You opened us up. Any further interest? No, they say no at this point. First, second, third time at 1,127,000. 27? Yep. Absolutely, we'll take the 2. And 1127, and I'll go back to you, sir, for another 2 if you'd like. Yeah, another 2. Okay. At 129 now over here to my right. 30? Okay, we can move in ones from here. And 30, sir, you know how this works? 35, he says. Let's not muck around, he says. At $1,135,000. First time. Second time, sir, I'm happy to take the 1 if that's how you want to proceed. First, second, third, final time. We are going. No further interest. Selling away. Go. We're at 35, sir. Can I suggest 36? 40. Good strong bid, sir. Good strong bid indeed. At 1,140,000 and another 5, may I suggest at 45. At $1,145,000 now, first time. Second time at 1,145,000. Third, final time, 1,145,000 at the back of the room, sir. This is your chance to speak. Shaking the head the wrong way. First, second, third, and final time. It's going. Sold over here to the right. Commiseration and congratulations to all. Thank you all for being here, and Grant will be back with the next session in about 3 minutes' time.
Good afternoon, folks. A warm welcome to the EVES auction room here for our 3 o'clock session. My name is Grant Child, and my role is to simply assist you in the final leg of your journey, whether you're buying or selling. We wish you the best in your endeavours. Of course, we've got Robin over here looking after all the technology in the auction room. If your bids don't take me to the level where I'm authorised as the auctioneer to put the property to the market and sell it to the highest bidder. Of course, that's the vendor's reserve price. If we don't reach that level, I'll call on one of the team here. They'll step in, give me that opportunity to continue discussions with our sellers. Because if I close the auction, folks, be very clear, anyone can come forward with an offer afterwards, and that does include conditional buyers. We've already offered some properties today that haven't been sold, but they are currently under negotiation with those conditional buyers afterwards. So, cash buyers, you're in a very elite position, so give it your best shot here this afternoon. We're going to quickly run through the documentation. Obviously, the buyers and sellers guide, well, that's been circulated out there since 2008. Finalised copies of that are also in the stand outside of the auction room. Co-located in that stand is finalised copies of the contract of sale that's been circulated in draft form, as you see on the screen. By way of any bidding, I'm going to assume you have read, understood, and accept that contract that we worked to, but I'm just going to quickly revisit a couple of pertinent points that is covered in the conduct of auction that you see up there on the screen. Those 2 points are simply your obligations on completion of the auction, signified by the fall of the hammer, is of course to sign the contract, in which case, if you are telephone bidders, you've authorised me to sign on your behalf, and I'm happy to complete those proceedings for you instantly. The other thing that you are required to do is, of course, to pay your deposit. If you are in attendance here, that's payable immediately. Telephone bidders, you've got until 1 o'clock tomorrow to get that paid into the EVES Realty Trust account. The only other thing I wish to cover off for you folks is vendor bidding. Just to dispel any myths out there in the marketplace of vendor bidding being used to push the price up. That's a load of coswell. It's never been that availability out there, folks. It is simply a technique for me as the auctioneer to work alongside you to get you to that negotiating platform where you can continue discussions with our sellers through our negotiation team as well. So I will disclose any vendor bids. I'm the only one authorised to submit vendor bids, and you can basically take it from me. If I'm holding a bid at any level, then the vendors are saying through me to you, thanks but no thanks, you will need to be above that figure if you wish to purchase our property. So like I said, simply a technique to work alongside you, and I will only use a vendor bid if I've only got one person participating in the auction. If I've got two bidders participating, I'm going to leave it entirely up to you. So at this juncture, we have to answer any questions, folks, before we move on to our first property for our 3 o'clock session here. No questions? Excellent. Right, 17 Edward Grove is the first property scheduled for our 3 o'clock session. Needing no introduction, of course, is Owen Phelps from our Gate Power office. This is a fabulous home in an outstanding Bethlehem location on offer for you here today. It is a freehold estate, 560 square metres of land, more or less, all described in record of time 143247. 20 days from today's date, not working days, just 20 days from today's date. Their own is the settlement date. Flexibility around that. Any other changes to the channels, Mr. Rule? So everything's all squeaky clean as you always do out there in the marketplace, Owen, you and your team. You've got the spacious interior living mix simply with the seamless but very, very cool outdoor entertaining and outdoor living patio area. You're going to spend a lot of time in this location here, folks, of the home. Genuine double bedrooms all complemented by a well-placed study, which makes working from home a very easy option indeed in today's environment. So you've got that peace and quiet of cul-de-sac living. Well, that's definitely an added bonus here at number 17 Edward Grove. In your hands, buyers, where would you like to start your way? 800? 800? Did you say 800, sir? Long way away from where I need to be, but I'll take $800,000 start. Appreciate your start and happy to go 9 on behalf of the vendor now. At $800,000 to start over here, 9 now on a vendor bid now at $900,000, and I'll take your 25s from there, sir, at 900 with me. Do I say 25 for you? 925 it is. At $925,000, if we taught it 50 would be the sensible move for you here. And now's the time to put it in there, folks. First call now, second time, third, last opportunity at 925. Happily go on behalf of the seller then at 950, sir. 75 can I say for you. At 950 on behalf of our vendor, we've got a way to go here. At 75 we go now. At $975,000 it's over here. At 975, round me to an even million if you will. Once, twice, third, last chance for you to join us, folks. Going on behalf of the seller then at $1 million, sir. $1,025,000 can I say. At $1,025,000 we go. At $1,025,000 on the right hand side here at $1,025,000. Next sensible move would be $1,050,000. So folks, here's your chance now. First I call, second time. Third, final opportunity, are we in or out? $1,050,000 on behalf of the seller then, sir. Make it 75, we'll pause and talk at that point in time. Away from my instructions at this point in time. At $1,050,000, make it 75. We'll give you that opportunity to keep discussing with the owner. 75. At $1,075,000 we go. At $1,075,000 it is on the right hand side here. Since you've been the only one that's been working with me, sir, I'll call it 3 times and we'll pause and talk. At $1,075,000, first time now, second, third, last chance, are we in or out? That's with you, sir, at $1,075,000. Appreciate you working with me. Craig, over here at $1,075,000. Can you help the gentleman, please? Well, moving straight on to the next one, number 12, Donovan Street. Julianne Haskell will be marketing this property, working out of our Putmore office, doing a great job out there, as she always does. You've got the brilliant first home or an absolute renovator's dream here at number 12, Donovan Street, described as a freehold estate, 809 square metres of land, more or less, is what's on offer, all described in record of title, let's say 1767, folio 80 in the South Auckland Registry Office. 10 working days from today's date is your settlement date, folks. A little bit of flexibility around that. No changes to the channels list that you see up there on the screen, all as circulated. I just remind you of clause 22 that stipulates that the purchaser acknowledges and accepts that there may not be any building permits or code compliance certificate for the deck and the pergola on the property. Therefore, the vendor warranties are specifically excluded relating to the deck and the pergola. So your opportunity is here to purchase the property with that knowledge, folks. So certainly it's no surprise that the 60s has been chosen as one of the best decades in history. So what it does offer you is carefree time of innovation, fashion and great music in that period of time. Plus it also offers you number 12 Donovan Street. Now that's original and very retro, so the renovation world will have a simply at your fingertips here at number 12 Donovan Street. There is plenty of evidence right around our wonderful region here on what you can do with these absolute 1960s gems. It's full of cool character, it's full of style, it's quirkily an expressive home with large pelmets, the Axminster carpet, the tongue and groove native floors. The list just goes on and on about the character and charm of homes of this vintage, so I don't need to go on about that. What I can tell you, folks, is we do have a conditional offer currently being drawn up and will be signed in due course to present to our sellers here today. Cash-wise, you get the first opportunity here today. Looking for an opening bid at whatever level you like to start the auction away, and I'm happy to work alongside you and work with you from here to help the cash buyers in the first instance. Otherwise, we go straight out there into the marketplace to our conditional buyers and welcome their participation. First call now for cash. Second time for this great auction here in Diamond Street, Te Puke. Third, last opportunity for you to secure a bit of 1960s nostalgia in that cash position. Are we in or out? Obviously no cash here today. Good. I'm going to close the auction. We'll hand that back to Julianne and she'll be continuing to work with that property, but I'm sure Julianne, those buyers that are putting the offer together, they'll be pretty excited when they know that the property is still available. Good luck with that. Right, moving on to the, I'm sure she is, she'll be watching very closely what's going on so that we don't do anything wrong, Jill. So under the watchful eye of our marketing consultant, Miranda Horan, unable to be with us today, feeling a little bit under the weather, so staying home and keeping warm, dry and safe. So the property in question, number 230B, Barracks Road. Miranda's done an outstanding job presenting that property. It's located in a private cul-de-sac. It's got the views of the Patamar Hills as well, so it's certainly a great option here. It is a cross-lease freehold, SA 47A, folio 448 is the record of title that describes the legal aspects of the property. A couple of additional clauses that have been inserted at the request of the vendor's solicitor. First one authorising early release of the deposit, not uncommon at this time of the year, approaching the end of the financial year, all in accordance with section 1232 of the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. Clause 24, the vendor warrants that the channels included in the sale shall be in the same condition as at the date of the agreement, being today's date, fair wear and tear accepted, and this clause replaces clause 9.31, which is hereby deleted. So just making sure that you're all up with the play with that. 10 working days from today's date is the settlement date. No changes there, no other changes to the channels list. You've got a fully renovated home, so right throughout, and it's absolutely spick and span, top to toe, inside out. It's an excellent first home opportunity here for your buyers. There's nothing for you to do but move in and simply enjoy what this home has to offer. You've got the large separate double garage with the workshop. Well, you weekend tinkerers, you're going to feel absolute bliss when you take ownership of this property here in just 10 working days' time. So in your hands, buyers, 230B Barracks Road. I'd be happy to start with, what do you reckon, Jill, an $800,000 start? That'd be a pretty fair start for a property of this calibre in this location.
Absolutely.
Somebody start me away at 800? Creeping out, no registered telephone bidders, folks. It's entirely over to those of you that are seated here in the room. First call down for an opening bid. Happy to take it at 800. Second, last chance. So we'd like to change your mind now, folks. I'm going to close the auction. I'm going to hand it back to Miranda Jill, and I know she's going to have.
She's watching, she's seeing all this, so.
Yeah, so just give Miranda a call at the Mount office there, and she'll be able to help you with that. The property is still available for sale, so a great option certainly available for you. It's all tidied up and ready to go.
Thanks, Grant.
You're welcome. Right, the property at Edward Road is still being negotiated at the moment, folks, so we'll press on now. And we're not going to go and have a game of tennis. We're here to sell a little prime Matua land. So it's all located at 46 Clyden Street. Callum Duncanson have been the marketing consultant. I bet you've had some interesting inquiries about this property there, Callum. You know, are you selling a tennis court, or what are you selling here? So I can tell you exactly what we're selling, folks. It is a prime central Matua section. It's got the thermal bore, which could potentially heat your future home and or your swimming pool as well. We legally described this particular property through record of title SA 27D, folio 1072, at 728 square metres of land, more or less. It is a freehold estate, the highest class of ownership that you can buy here, of course, in New Zealand. There's no channels included in the sale. That comes as no surprise given the fact that it's bare land. We do have an additional clause in the contract here just to make sure that you are fully aware of everything that, firstly, clause 23 discloses that the vendor is related to a licensed salesperson under the Real Estate Agents Act. Clause 24, purchaser acknowledges you've been informed that the thermal bore pump and the system is being sold as is with no warranty expressed or implied, and that you may need a resource consent to utilise this bore and have been advised to take your own independent advice regarding this matter. Clause 25 stipulates that Clause 8.1 is deleted, and Clause 26, the vendor shall not be bound to point out the boundaries of the property, and the purchaser acknowledges you've been advised to seek legal and independent advice regarding the property prior to purchasing it. So pretty straightforward there when it comes to parcels of land like this, 728 square metres of land more or less. They say it's all about location, location, location. Now that's a cliche that's been used for many, many years in the real estate industry. I can tell you, even Gordy, when he started in real estate, was about 42 years ago, they were talking location, location, location there. They've made television programs about it. It is a key to buying good real estate, folks. For those that enjoy sleeping under the stars, this one is quite simply 5-star. They don't come much better than this. You've got a rare offering in the prestigious Matua where you can build your dream home and be surrounded by some pretty nice properties. Those of you that have driven these streets, you will have witnessed that. But now's the time to visualise yourself at Stanley Street in Auckland, or the Royal Mail Arena in Melbourne Centre, or a game of tennis. Well, you are the ones that get to make the first serve today, folks, and that will be with your opening bid. Where will it be? Where would you like to start your way? Number 46, Clyden Street. For $1 million would be a fair and reasonable start. Somebody get me underway at $1 million. Parcels of land like this don't come up very often. Somebody start me away at $1 million. I'm going to start your way on a vendor bid if you like. Here's your opportunity now. Alright, I'll get you underway just to give you the opportunity to bid and buy here today, folks. I can assure you, if you don't bid and buy whilst the auction is live today, I'm absolutely confident you'll go into a multi offer afterwards. So I start your way at $1 million. We'll go in $25,000 rises to give you the opportunity in cash to participate here today. At $1 million, make it $1,025,000, will you? Once I call now for a $25,000 rise, second time, third, last chance for you to join us. Well, I'm not going to leave it there, Callum, I advance. On behalf of the vendor, at $1,025,000. At $1,025,000, making it $1,050,000 if you will, folks. Let's get on the bike and peddling. Here's your opportunity to buy here today. First call now at $1,025,000, making it $50,000, shall you? Second time, last chance. Callum, I'm not even slightly confused about a property in this colour in this location. Here we go. On behalf of the vendor at $1,050,000 now. At $1,050,000 it is. Chasing down 75 if it's there, folks. Here's your chance now. First call, second. Last chance, make it $1,075,000. Go there on behalf of the seller, folks. I'm going to go around the room once more. looking for a further $25,000 rise, advance me to 1.1 if you want the opportunity to enter discussions today. Otherwise, I'm simply going to advance it to 1.1 myself and I'll close the auction. You don't want to be getting yourself into that position outside of the room. First call now, are we in or out? Make it 1.1, we'll give you the opportunity to discuss with our seller. Second time, last chance in or out. We're going to close the auction, Callum, and I know you've got interest in the property, and I think you are going to see a multiple offer afterwards on this property. It is now, the auction's now closed, so I hand it back to you. Thank you, Craig. You're welcome. Right, here we go, folks, number 17, Montgomery Road. We left the auction room at $1,075,000. So you've lifted your bid to $1,135,000. Can you just confirm that for me, please? At $1,135,000 on, you've got our sellers on the phone. What are my instructions? Selling away to the gentleman down here at $1,135,000 for the want of a better bid. I call it 3 times. Here's your chance now, folks. I'll take anything you wish to put on top as long as it's legal Kiwi tender. Even $1,000 if you want to take one more challenge for the keys of Edwin Road. First call now before it goes. Second time it goes, it goes. Third, final opportunity quickly. It goes, it goes. Sold to you, sir, $1,135,000. Congratulations, of course, to our sellers. I'll be back to you in about 2 minutes, folks. We'll start on our 3:30 session. For those of you that have just joined us this afternoon, folks, good afternoon and a very warm welcome to our final session of the day today, being our 3:30 session. My name's Grant Child, and my role is to simply help you if you are here to purchase some property or you are here to sell. My job is to assist you in achieving your objective to move to the next chapter of your life, and of course we wish you the best in your endeavours. Robin will look after all the technology in the auction room. I've got my team of negotiators on hand here. If you don't take me to the owner's reserve price, I'll simply pause the auction, give you the opportunity with one of the team there to continue discussions with our seller and see if we can help you buy the property just like you just witnessed with that Edwin Road property. So the reason that I'll pause that, folks, is quite simply because I haven't reached the owner's reserve price at that point in time, and as an auctioneer, that's the only point that I can put a property to the market and sell to the highest bidder. Going to quickly run through the documentation. Of course, the Buyers and Sellers Guide, been out since 2008. If you haven't already got one, folks, then they are in the stand outside of the auction room. I'm going to go straight to the most important document, of course, that is the contract of sale. And again, finalised copies are available out in that same stand as well. If there's been any amendments, any additions, deletions throughout the marketing period to the draft that you see there up on the screen, or a sample of rather, then I'll alert you to that prior to your bidding. But I know the marketing consultant you're working with, they will have endeavoured to contact you and made sure that you are up with the play with it all. So I'm just going to quickly revisit the front page. You see it up there in blue on the screen there, folks. That's the conduct of auction. I'm not going to go through that in its entirety either. Just want to talk a little bit about vendor bidding, just so you can bid confidently and with total clarification. I will only use a vendor bid if I've only got one person participating in the auction. I'm the only one that is authorised to submit vendor bids. The vendors have passed that authorisation on to me. I will disclose all vendor bids very clearly to you, and they will always be at a level well south of the seller's reserve price. Simply a technique to work alongside you, to assist you, to get you to that negotiating platform, at which time we'll pause the auction and you can continue chatting at that point in time. Of course, if you reach agreement, it will come back to me and I'll put the property to the floor and it will sell to the highest bidder. If from that point on, folks, the hammer falls in your favour, your 2 simple obligations today before starting any celebrations is, of course, to sign the contract and, of course, part with a little bit of your well-earned, hard-earned cash, and that's just 10% of the purchase price today, payable, and the balance is, of course, payable on settlement date. So, any questions at this juncture, folks? Welcoming everybody that's watching via the live stream as well. No questions? Excellent. We'll press straight on then for the first offering, 17A Roderick Street. Now these properties, 17A and 17B, have both been marketed by Sarah Brown from our Cherrywood office. We're going to offer these two properties individually. First up, 17A. There's not many flats in Tauranga that have got two-car garaging, so this is one of them, nor there are too many flats around that have got those wonderful city harbour light views as well. This one at 17A has definitely got that. It's legally described as a cross-lease freehold. SA 23B, folio 8281 rather, is the record of title that describes the property. There is a clause inserted in the contract that states very clearly, I'm not going to go through it in its entirety or word for word, simply stating that you purchase the property on an as-is, whereas basis. 10 working days from today's date is your settlement date. Any additions or changes to the channels list there? No changes there, Sarah. You've got that entertainment deck that opens up from the living area onto the woodlands below there. You've got a path, well that needs a little bit of TLC and a little bit of love at the moment, but once you've just tidied that up a bit, you've got direct access all the way down to the Daisy Hardwood Walkway, so fantastic for your exercise regime, or perhaps just a little bit of an evening or morning stroll around the inner harbour. The home itself offers you open plan configuration. For those of you that have got a little bit of wisdom behind your ears, then you will quickly realise and recognise that this property has got scope as big as a galaxy. You've got location, Roderick Street, a very popular street indeed. We don't get a lot of properties available in those locations. I think fair to say, Sarah, the majority of properties in Roderick Street have already been through the renovation process. So some quality homes surround you. In your hands, buyers from 17A Roderick Street, we would like to say go. I see you breathing, folks. You don't have to hold your breath just because I'm calling for an opening bid. It's quite interesting up here as the auctioneer, because it's always been interesting in 22 years as an auctioneer, reading people's body language, facial expressions. That was taken away with me by COVID. You can't see them now because you're all behind masks. So you need to shout it out big and bold, folks. We would like to start your way to 17A Roderick Street. First call for an opening bid. Second, last chance. Obviously no cash today from 17A, so I'm going to close the auction, Sarah. We'll offer you a couple of other great properties and then we'll come back and offer you number 17B, folks. Number 9, Finlow Way is the next one in our 3:30 session today, folks. Mary O'Sullivan, Peter Campbell, again from our Cherrywood office, been presenting this property here. Have a look there on the screen. It is not very often you get an opportunity like this and a price point like this, I can assure you of that. You've got those stunning harbour entrance views right on your doorstep at ground level as well. So, that's what's going to take. You're going to spend most of your time sitting in your armchair just gazing at that beautiful sight that you see there on the screen. It is a freehold estate offering you just 216 square metres of land, more or less. You wouldn't want anything much bigger than that in this particular location. There's so much to do, so handy to your front door. Record of title 54336 confirms all that legal aspects, and as I said, a freehold estate, the best class of ownership in New Zealand. 28th of April 2022 is the settlement date. That's not too far away, just after Anzac Day. A bit of flexibility around that date. If you need an alternative date, talk to Mary or Peter, they'll help you out. The channels list, any additions, deletions to that? No changes there. So have a look at this, folks, coming up on the screen. You've got a very easy care brick and tile property here. You've got no lawns to mow, so it just frees up all your time to do those fun things in life that are all done on your doorstep, as I said a little earlier. It's an excellent lock and leave option for you nomads and retirees wanting to see some action. Well, you get to sit back, relax and enjoy from that conservatory area looking straight out the harbour entrance. You've got that spacious kitchen with the view there, beautifully renovated throughout as well. Wonderfully convenient location, as I've already mentioned. Walkways, cycleways. You've got the waterfront virtually right on your doorstep there. Shops, cafes, Bay Central, the golf course, Tauranga CBD. Well, it's all a short distance away from home when you own number 9 Finlow Way. In your hands, buyers, we would like to start your way from this. Here to work with cash interest only. Here to work with whatever junction you might like to start your way, folks. Here to help you. First call to get us underway, you set the benchmark. Second call, Last chance in or out. Obviously no cash today for this one as well. It's a little bit like what's happening out there in the marketplace. We're going to close the auction period, but we're going to price this property, aren't we, straight away. So what sort of buying power? I know that people have been looking at your marketing. I bet they've been thinking that they're going to need well over $1 million to be able to secure a property for this view. How much do we need?
Well, they're wrong, right? Because we're going to put it on the market $895,000.
$895,000. I would suggest both of you make sure your cars have got full fuel tanks, because I think you're going to get particularly busy once that price gets out there in the marketplace. $895,000. Those of you watching via the live stream, if you are looking for, or you know of somebody looking for a property like this in this location, you only need $895,000, but you better be quick, because I know Mary and Peter will have a sold sticker on that signboard in no time once that price hits the market. Auctions closed, price at $895. Go for it, team. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright, one Boss Close is the next one in our catalogue of options for the afternoon today, folks. In particular, number 3, 3:30 session. Jeremy Cunningham has been waiting patiently all day out there. Got our vendors on the telephone there, Jeremy. Of course, welcoming those folks watching via the live stream. One Boss Close, folks, you've got a very well-designed floor plan to maximise the space in this 2016 generation brick and tile home. Legally described as a freehold estate, 406 square metres of land, more or less, is all that's on offer. Record of title 721608 confirms all the legal aspects of it. You've got there was some documentation circulating initially that didn't have the COVID settlement clause in it. That has been inserted to make sure that everything is all on track for you. 20 working days from today's date, Jeremy, or something eventually agreed. Channels list, any changes there? No changes there. So back to the property itself, folks. You've got the island kitchen as the hub of that open plan. You've got the walk-in pantry as well. That's definitely an asset to the family chef. You've got good flow out through the double glazed doors to that wonderful patio that you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of as well. Second living area, well, that can be closed off, so absolutely perfect to banish the kids out there. Maybe leave the kids in the main living area and move out there yourselves. Great place to take in a family movie, or definitely a great spot for watching your favourite sport as well. You've got the Gordon Spratt Reserve, the Patmara College and local junior schools, all nice and handy to home when you live at One Boss Close. And I would suggest to you that quality is in the making here, quality in your home and quality in your lifestyle. So I would suggest, Jeremy, worthy of over $1 million start. Certainly probably worthy of that. So how far over the million? Well, you tell me. Where would you like to start? Looking for an opening bid now. Number 1, Boss Close. Anywhere over $1 million, I'll be delighted. First call now. Second time. You're all sitting there like a bunch of stunned mullets with cardboard cutouts. Third, last chance. All right, here to just work with the cash. I'll close the auction, Jeremy. I know you've got some interest in the property, and I'm sure you'll get that property sold in no time. Just, a great property. I know you'll be working with buyers, just no cash interest here today. That's all we're here for the auction for, is to deal with the cash interest. So it's closed off. Good luck. Right, I mentioned a bit earlier we were going to offer you 17B Roderick Street as well, so let's do that now. This one boasts a large living area that opens at each end there, basks in the evening sun or morning coffee, looking over the wonderful water views as well. Again, Sarah Brown's been marketing this property here. It is a cross-lease freehold, all described in record of title, say 23B folio 282. The as-is whereas clause, well, that's also inserted in the contract for this particular one as well as 17A, but this in particular 17B, 10 working days from today's date, settlement date, no changes to the channels list and all there, Sarah. So the home itself offers you the tranquility of the water, that stroll after you've tidied up that track there, down to the Daisy hard walk after you've given that path a little bit of an overhaul. Well, that's an added bonus of the property. You've got 2 bedrooms upstairs, you've got the large rumpus downstairs. All I can suggest to you folks, this property has got so much to offer for the discerning buyer, and again, it is all about prime location. I'm not going to go on too much about this one. You heard what I had to say about location with 17A. Same applies at 17B. So in your hands, looking for a cash start here for 17B. First call, second, last chance for cash. Obviously none today for this one here, Sarah. I'm going to close the auction now. If you're wanting something like this, folks, in fact, the two properties are also available together as one. If you know of anybody looking for a large proposition there to combine the two properties and to certainly configure something very special indeed, talk to Sarah in our Cherrywood office and she'll be able to help you with that. Well, we'll go straight on to the lucky last one for the day, folks. This must be the one that you're all here for, because I know damn well you haven't all just come along to see me. So 310 Barracks Road, the property in question. Callum Nuggets will be marketing this one again out of our Cameron Road office. Now this auction has been put forward, folks. The owner is in contract. I'll disclose the level of that offer very shortly to you. I'm going to make it come up on the screen in the spot where it does say opening bid. It's not an opening bid, it's disclosing the level of the pre-auction contract. I'll then invite any bids over that level to give you all equal opportunity to purchase it. It's a lovely 3-bedroom home that's been stylishly renovated using a classic coastal palette. Very, very special indeed. Formally described as a freehold estate. Record of title SA 6A folio 311 confirms a land holding of 663 square metres of land, more or less. Now the garden shed, that is as is. It does stay, but there's no warranties with that. And of course the deck umbrella has been excluded. Now that was a late change, but the deck umbrella has been excluded from the sale. It will not be staying. Garden shed as is. 20 working days from today's date. Callum, still our settlement date.
Yeah, that's otherwise approved.
A bit of flexibility around that as well, and no other changes to the channels other than those I've mentioned.
That's correct.
So there you go, folks. We've got the fully fenced 663 square metre section, outstanding for kids, and of course if you garden as well, it certainly facilitates that palette as well. An outstanding playground for kids. You can see there, certainly facilitates the trampoline with ease. The gorgeous polished timber floors on the inside, well that's definitely an attraction to the property as well. Beautifully renovated modern kitchen there for you to explore all your culinary challenges. You've got the large main deck designed with plenty of space for barbecues and outdoor entertaining. It's just simply first class all the way through. And of course you've got that Darras Road location. Just pop down to the New World there, say hi to Brendan down there, and he can facilitate all your needs there. Everything else around you at the Brookfield shops, plethora of good schooling all around you. So without further ado, folks, the owner signed a contract prior to the auction today. That contract was signed at $925,000, and I'm happy to take any advance on that. $925,000, perhaps a $10,000 rise might be worthy of your exploration here to own the property. Do I hear 935? But you need to be quick. Take a 5 in the middle to help you, make it 930. Here to facilitate proceedings for you and help you buy the property today, folks. Otherwise it's gone. You need to be quick. Maybe 2.5. I'll even take a single, but I'm going to call it 3 times. Nobody puts their hand up in the next few seconds, folks. While I call it 3 times, the property will be sold. First call now to even take a single on top. Are we there? Second call, but you need to be quick. Third, final opportunity, quickly. Callum, being no further bids, I now declare the property sold at $925,000. Pre-auction contract. Congratulations, of course, to our sellers. That concludes our offerings today, folks. On behalf of the team at EVES, thanks for your attendance. We'll see you back next Thursday with another wonderful array of properties.